Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Haykel.
And I'm Laura Haykel.
We're the Haykel Twins coming at you from Buffalo, New York today, and we wanted to share a little bit about the work we're up to in the world as a starting point for some inspiring, motivational, cool, hip, and translucent conversations we'd like to have with you all
Oh,
in the
yeah.
days, weeks, months, and years to come.
Yes, yes. There was a little potato bug crawling on my foot.
Woo!
Woo! It's spring, and it's beautiful here.
Yay!
And we're hailing here from Buffalo, New York, reaching out to all ends of the earth, the universe, and beyond. And just so blessed to be out here in this beautiful weather and in a peaceful, safe, beautiful environment. So giving thanks for that. And yeah, my name is Laura Haykel again, and I'd love for Sarah to share a little bit about what's currently happening in her business and in her life.
Well, currently I'm excited about a new interview process, which I've started called Conversations with Sarah. These conversations are where I interview people that motivate, inspire, and uplift me with the work that they're doing in the world. I've interviewed 3 people so far. 2 of the interviews are live. Stay tuned for the next coming up with one of the hottest leading females on the worldwide dance floor today
Whoop,
and for
whoop.
the past decade.
In what style of dance?
Any style,
Okay,
really.
okay.
I mean, these people, I'm going to be interviewing a expressive arts therapist this month. I'm going to be interviewing a amazing piano player, songwriter, musician who's blind at the end of this month,
Yay.
and I'm going to be interviewing my twin sister, and just really want to share the deeper meaning and the deeper gifts that people have with the world. Sometimes when we go to a dance class or we see somebody on TV or hear somebody's album, we may not always exactly know where they're coming from, why they're doing what they're doing, and the deeper meaning for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to open up a conversation about the real reason why we're doing what we're doing, and inspire others to get real with themselves and share their true greatest gifts to serve all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is what I'm talking about.
Woo!
Well, I I I know that both of us have always been passionate about the stories that people carry. The stories that people experience, and really the life journey of individuals, and how that has led them to where they are in the present time. And so it's really, really exciting that you've launched this interview process and that you're getting some great response from the 2 interviews that you've posted online so far.
I'm really excited. Yeah. And I think the main thing is that I feel like there's so much energy up underneath this.
Mm-hmm.
It was an inspiration that came through a course that Laura and I just went through together called Rich, Hot, and Happy Bee School with Marie Forleo and team.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I just got this inspiration. We were talking about blogging, we were talking about newsletters, and it was like, interview people. And I just started, and I'll be honest with you, it feels energized, it feels fun and exciting, and the material, the things that are coming out of these people during these interviews are highly, massively inspirational, transformational, evolutionary. It's just so exciting.
That's awesome.
So what's up with you, Laura? What do you got going on today in the world?
Well, very much as twins do at times, I am also launching an interview series, which will be on my blog, and it's something that I've been dreaming of for years now, to have some type of radio show or interview process where I can really share the stories and conversations that I'm having with these incredible people that I either come into contact with, or people that I know intimately as friends or in my community. I want to share those stories with the world. So my sister was the one who kind of like spearheaded this whole video interview thing, and it was great because it was on my list of things to explore, and she just happened to navigate it first. So now I can use her as a resource and ask her questions, and see how she has been able to do this so easily, and get my own interview series up and running. So So that's really exciting, and it feels good to be taking action on things that have been in my heart and on my mind for quite some time. So that's what this last year has really been about, stepping into action and taking some of those ideas that I've been carrying and really doing something with them.
I love hearing the piece about storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit more about what's important about hearing people's stories?
Yes. Well, this is something that's always fascinated me, is that we all have a story. And we have no idea what situations, experiences anyone has navigated until we either start to inquire, ask questions, read up on them, do research, read a book, blog posts, look at their website if they have one. But even people who aren't even online, we all have a specific story to tell, and something that got us to wherever we are in the present moment. So this has always been something that has interested me since I was a teenager, and I've had some different ideas for how to share people's stories with the world and how to create connection, because um, I know in my own life experience that there are many times when I felt like I was alone. I was, the only person in the world feeling XYZ. And I felt really disconnected. And one of my missions is to um, create space for people to experience oneness and to know that you're not alone. I'm not alone. There are probably a million other people in the world right now feeling some of the ways that I do. So it's about sharing our stories so that we can connect and relate and see how other people transformed and evolved through their own challenges and experiences and adventures. And I just think it's fascinating to learn about where people came from, and then what were the series of events that led them to this place in present time.
And you've had quite an interesting story.
Yes, I have. I really have, and I think that that's what kind of piqued my interest around sharing stories. My story is a warrioress, adventurous story about a young woman who had this big fiery energy and all this creativity and desire to live life fully, but didn't quite feel supported by those around me as a young person. And so I decided to venture out into the world at a young age. And so at 16, I left home and went out into the world to find my tribe. And so, that created a whole series of events and lessons learned and reminders and connections and community that spearheaded the rest of my life. So I'll be sharing more about my own story with you in future posts. But I think that it's been fascinating to witness my own journey and then to witness, people's journeys worldwide.
And I guess I'm interested in is how stories define us.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking
Mm-hmm.
about the story of my life, what I am believing about what happened, and then what actually happened.
Yeah. Well, why don't you talk a little bit about that, because that's a very interesting piece. And do you have any examples of a story or a situation that happened in your life where you viewed it one way, but someone else viewed it in a completely different way?
Well, I do have more so an example of a story in my life which I believed for almost half of my life, which all of a sudden I realized was I could have viewed it from any perspective, and all of a sudden it was like I jumped on the other side of the perspective wheel or circle, I call it, and was able to see it in such a different light, and it actually created a huge sense of space and freedom in my relationship with you and in my relationship with myself and others. And that was my story around self-abandonment, that people always leave me. And when we were 16, Laura left home, and I felt abandoned. I felt that she had left me. And we took this amazing course called Feminine Power with Claire Zammit and Catherine Woodward Thomas.
Whoop,
Much love
whoop,
to all the
thank
Feminine Power crew and
you.
women, people
Yahoo.
out there, masters. And
Empresses.
yes, mastresses. And and it helped me to take responsibility for my own self-abandonment. And I was able to understand that Laura never left me. You know, the men in my life never left me. My parents never abandoned me. I left myself, and I left myself at a young age, probably over a misunderstanding. I experienced something that happened. I feel like it's with my father, and I left myself. And if you don't understand what that means right now, that's okay.
Yeah.
But I just kind of look to others for the right way to do things. I look to others for comfort, support, care, love. And I didn't know how to be there for myself. And when I had that awareness that it wasn't Laura that left me, I left myself, I was able to come to terms with that, make amends with Laura for holding us in this bondage of this old story for almost half our life, and clear it and open it up for a greater healing, for the greater good. And now I'm supporting people to come back home into themselves and be here so that we can all be empowered in our lives and share our greatest truths and gifts with the world. So that's a great example, I think.
Well, I love that example, and it makes me think about the different types of stories that we're talking about. So there's the life story, and you know, the series of events that happen to bring you to a certain place in your life, or to create certain opportunities or awakenings or awarenesses, or to bring you home into your divine self, into self-love and the journey of exploring spirituality and your humanness and who you truly be. And then there are the stories that we create, like as Sarah's mentioning here,
or we believe
they were built on an assumption or sense of a specific type of perception that are stories where we have, like, there's some type of core belief around that story that keeps us it can keep us either stuck in bondage, in some type of bondage, or it can be very freeing. So we all have, I'm sure that I trust there are plenty of people out there who grew up with really empowering stories for their lives. For me, I didn't so much. So it's been my path to empower myself by highlighting and illuminating the stories that I picked up or created through my life, and then shifting those stories into truly life empowering, life affirming stories, stories, mantras, new experiences. So,
well, and I know we could talk about this for days, but I'm just looking at the time, and I know that we got to move on for now, but stay tuned for more. We're going to be doing a workshop tomorrow here in Buffalo, New York, around self-empowerment, movement, mindfulness, meditation. And moving forward, we're coming up to the world stage. We definitely have a goal to work worldwide and to support people on their journeys and paths, and trust and know that this is all part of the process. So signing off for now. In true twin fashion, we both wore our yellow jeans today, not knowing it. And signing off for now. Big love, big peace. Laura, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Sarah, and thank you all for checking in, and stay tuned. We've got a lot of love and a lot of bliss and bless and forward motion, empowerment energy to share with you all, creativity, and it's all in the divine flow. So we'll see you soon.
Big love.
Ciao for now. Mwah.